All right, it's the dumbest bill in America, and it is House Bill 52 from the great state of Maryland. The bill is from Delegate Vogel, who's from Montgomery County. It's titled Election Law, Voting Age, Board of Education Elections. Here's what the bill does. It allows 16-year-olds to vote for people running for election for school boards. 16-year-olds. So I guess that actually means that 16-year-olds can also maybe run for election for the school board themselves. So in a bold move to empower the youth, lawmakers are now considering legislation that would allow 16-year-olds to vote for school board candidates because nothing says experienced decision-making quite like a teenager who can't even decide what to have for lunch without consulting a TikTok poll. Imagine the debates. I think we should allocate more funds for pizza at the cafeteria. But what about new vending machines that, dispense energy drinks? We need to prioritize. It's a recipe for democracy where the only campaign promise is to bring back the beloved chocolate milk. And the major issue at stake is whether gym class should have a focus on dodgeball or just scrolling through social media. Who knew school governance could be so youthful? So this guy, Delegate Vogel, wants to have 16-year-olds, people as young as 16-year-old, actually vote for school boards. I have with me the famous Delegate Brian Chisholm of the state of Maryland. What do you think about this, Brian?
I think if we peel back all the layers here and look at what it really is, we can't fool the adults anymore. It didn't work out. Our candidates aren't winning anymore. We can't fool the adults. Let's go younger and younger and get the naive ones. Maybe they can help us win some elections. And the funny thing about Delegate Vogel is he did run for Congress, and I'm wondering, because he's a young guy.
He's 28 years old.
He's probably thinking, if I can get this over to the federal level, maybe I can win that congressional seat. I can definitely convince some 16, 17-year-olds that I'm their kind of guy. You know why? Because they've never paid a tax in their freaking life.
Exactly. So here's Delegate Vogel, folks. Brian and I are going to continue talking. Here's a video of him, and he's actually walking out of his office in Annapolis with an apron on. And it looks like, he's going to go cooking. And hey, he has on his Twitter feed or X feed, he says, cooking up some legislation. And he's holding all of these bills and all that stuff. And this obviously is one of them. So Brian, you said something about rigging elections. Think about this. This is a really good point. Tell us what you think.
I do think this is election rigging. This is
How so?
I'm going out to get the voters that I know that I can sway because they don't have a world experience of what being a elected official really means. So I'm going to go out and get the people that are easiest to fool. That's the bottom line.
So what if, what if the teachers union wanted to advocate inside of schools for the 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds to vote for their preferred candidates? I think this is actually what this is about. Because obviously, you're right, it's rigging elections to make sure you always have the things that you want as a teachers union. And by the way, I want to separate the rank and file teachers who are fantastic, because they are, from the teachers union operatives who are not so fantastic, who absolutely would love this bill, right?
Yeah, and I think if you think about it, so you and I as parents, we have our kids for a certain amount of hours a day. Kids are in school all day long, and if you talk to, like I said, most of the rank and file teachers are great people, but they feel a lot of pressure from those that are determining their paychecks every day. And they say, we want you to push this candidate. That's free campaigning. There's a reason we have federal election laws. It's so that everybody has equal access to campaign. That's not free and equal access. That is a captive audience of very persuasive teachers over these young minds because they trust their teachers as they should.
16-year-olds never paid taxes, as you said. They've never paid taxes, but they're going to vote for someone who has maybe $100 or $200 million budget for the public school system. In some cases in Maryland, the budget is $1 billion for the public school system.
Yeah, you brought up chocolate milk on the intro. They've never even had to earn $1 to pay for that chocolate milk, so they have no idea the sacrifices it takes to raise money so that you can pay for these things. But you know, we're talking about a 26-cent chocolate milk, and they've never paid for that.
Exactly.
But yet we're gonna give them this power. I mean, school boards, they are in charge of immense budgets. We're talking about millions of dollars, and we're gonna say, hey, I got an idea. The kid that can't afford the chocolate milk is now going to determine the school board.
So in the meantime, you know, we have the legislature in Maryland, which has, the state of Maryland has a $3 billion budget deficit. And this is the priority. See, this is why I had to show this guy, Delegate Vogel, in his little recipe outfit, what was that, the apron, you know, because he's walking out of his office with the apron on, and it's like, oh, look at all these bills I'm trying to pass. Meanwhile, the state's going bankrupt, the country's going bankrupt, and he wants 16-year-olds to help us what? Get out of bankruptcy or make us more bankrupt? I don't know. Last thoughts, Brian.
He said he was cooking up some legislation. From my history with Mr. Vogel or Delegate Vogel, the recipe is very, very bad. And the final product, you don't want to eat, I promise you.
And that's the dumbest bill in America. House Bill 52, letting 16-year-olds vote for school board candidates. See you later.